So, Brighton 2, Arsenal 4. We have ended the year 7 points clear at the top
How?
of the
How?
Premier League
How,
table.
Lee? How do we manage this?
Because we've been the best team in the league, Kenny.
And we're
We
playing
should have
like the
beaten
best team in the league.
Southampton. We should have got sank on against Man United. We have been the best team in the league this season.
So,
At 4-1 tonight, we're coasting. We've got the cigars on the go. We're getting the champagne on ice. We're thinking New Year's Eve. Happy days.
Picture this. Out of 16 games, we get maximum 48 points. We've got 43. How is this happening? How is this happening?
Mick Arteta, mate. He knows exactly what we need.
I don't know what's going on here, but the thing about it is that we don't even look like losing. That's the thing.
No,
we don't look like losing. We're playing. We come out of traps. You know, the fact is that our top goal scorers are Martinelli and Saka. Only got 7. Man City got a guy who scored 21 goals, and yet they've given us a 7-point advantage. I don't know how this is happening. I'm all for it, to be honest, because the way we started today was the fact that Lamptey got the ball. He lost possession, got robbed by Partey. We're going to get come to Partey in a minute, and then Odegaard gets involved, and we go 1-0 up. And after that, we're in complete control, complete and utter control. Midfield is strong. This is probably Xhaka's weakest game, but we were strong today. I thought Thomas Partey was fantastic. I know that Martin Odegaard's going to get all the plaudits for the nutmeg, the goal, and the excellent,
right pass. That was a proper assist, by the way.
Right, so and he's playing good football. You think about it. He scored 6 goals this season, got 6 assists. I know me and you are not massive on assists, but the fact is that that's 12 goal involvements that the guy's been involved in about 16 games. You can't get better than that. And that we haven't even talked about the chances that he's created as well in all those games. He's playing his best football. There's no wonder that Real Madrid are thinking what we got here, that they're going to pay heaven and earth to get him back. But I say it once and I say it 1,000 times: you can't play well and dominate games against Brighton if you don't have a midfielder who wins the ball back, makes tackles. Thomas Partey is so vital to this game. It's not even up for discussion. A lot of people were disappointed and lukewarm about his presence when he first came to the club, but I always knew he was going to be that kind of player. And the thing about it is they call him a DM. That's an insult with him calling him DM because he's better than that. But at the moment, we needed him as a DM. He was fantastic. I think, don't get me wrong, the TV cameras and the fans who like the sort of like the creativity are going to give Martin Odegaard man of the match. Great, he's pleasing the eye. But without Thomas Partey today, we don't score in the first minute. Without Thomas Partey, we don't get the like in terms of third goal. He was the glue that holds together. You don't have to look at when we made our substitutions, taking off Odegaard, Thomas Partey, and try to win backs. We look weak, but the fact is we took Thomas Partey. He is our best player by a mile, a country mile.
Mate, he's that glue in midfield, and El Neni, the drop off is mad, and that's not a diss on El Neni, but as soon as Thomas Partey went off, all of a sudden we look vulnerable, we look weak. All of a sudden they're getting at us. They dominated possession, but you expect that from Brighton. That's how they play it, and we will go, okay, cool. We'll sit back a little bit and we'll counter you. The fact that Man City drew, the fact that Newcastle drew, Mikel didn't even need to have a team talk. Just put the Premier League table up on the screen and say, "This, we're 7 points clear." Yeah. Now it's over to the Cronkies. It's over to you now, guys. We've done our bit. We have been the best team in the league, and we've actually got the results on the table. Yeah. The only thing I will say, right, and this is where the Cronkies need to step in, right? Odegaard, I thought, and I said this in my fan cam, I think Odegaard in the 2 games since we've come back to Premier League, he's been the best player in the league.
Oh yeah, no doubt about that. That's not dispute.
Yeah, exactly.
Not dispute.
But what I will say, right? Yes, we scored 4 goals today, but this is where the drop off is mad. Rob Holding comes on. Tomiyasu came on. He was a passenger. It was almost like his performance, and it's not. I don't want to put him in the gut. I mean, I want to be positive, but Tomiyasu came on. And it was almost like Savage against Liverpool.
Yes,
he came on. He was just running around in circles.
Yeah, but there's a massive elephant in the room as well. The big elephant in the room as well is that Saliba's been sloppy since he's come back from the World Cup.
Trash.
And that is factual, because you know, we've horsewhipped Gabriel Magalhaes, rightly so. And so we go for a look at Thomas Part. Against William Saliba. He has been sloppy. You know, the second goal was that a lot to do with it was downright sloppiness, and something we've got to look into. But again, that sloppiness comes because he doesn't have the security, and too many changes are made around him. But the thing about it is that the problem we're going to have if we don't get new players in, then what will happen is that Mikel is going to have to rotate his team, and you don't really want Mikel to do that, because if he starts rotating or starts, you know, with 20 minutes to go, thinking the games is won, we're going to have a situation where those players who come on are going to be off the pace. The you know, like the levels are going to drop, and also the pattern of play is going to be different, because you've got players that come off the bench who are going to have to be integrated in the pattern of play, because not all substitutes study the game like Solskjaer. Solskjaer studied the game, but a lot of substitutes, you see them there throwing things at each other, having chewing gum, having laughs and jokes, and then when the camera's on them, they're cheering, but they're really pissed off to be in the bench. So
Mate, do you know what? You're talking about being upset and peed off, yeah? At half time, I said this on the watch long, Odegaard scored the goal, right? We were 2-0 up. Yeah, he done that drag back and nutmeg. He was pivotal in that first half, yeah, and more so in the second half, right? But at half time, when he was walking off the pitch, he took the armband off as he's walking off the pitch, and his face, he was fuming. And Ola said to me, he goes, I like players like that. We're 2-0 up. He knows that we started like a house on fire, but then we were giving up this and giving up and giving up.
That's probably why he got the captaincy, Lee. That's probably why he's got the captaincy, because he's one of those people who doesn't, you know, settle for you know, like top four. He won't settle for the fact of winning games. He wants us to kill teams. You know, you've got to be at every minute. And I think what's happened is that we're having to suffer to win these games, and that's what we like about the fact is that there's a bounce back ability about this team. But as you said before, I think you don't get numbers in, then what happens is that you're going to have to rotate, you know, the squad. You know, certain games where you can't play Kieran Tierney or Shevchenko, although I think we're resigned to the fact that Shevchenko is first choice. That's just where it is at the moment. But, you know.
What did you make of his performance, by the way?
From an attacking point of view, fantastic, especially when we was involved in that chance that we would have got 2-0 up. And
really, he spun them two defenders.
Yeah, exactly. And you know, from an attacking point of view, in terms of like the midfield and the passing, and you know, patterns of play, he's brilliant. But when it comes to crossing the ball, Tierney's better. But you know, that is an aspect of Kieran's game that you need to learn, not just for England but for Scotland as well. Because you think about it, Robertson's still the number one at right left wing back or left back.
Centre back most of the time,
so that's an aspect of the game for future reference. But at the moment, Zinchenko did really well. But you can always remember, when we're in control of the game, we don't really need Tierney chopping off. We need to get in the midfield. So Zinchenko's perfect for that. But as you can see, it's still 22 games left. It's not even halfway the season. So we still got to look at January. We still got games against Tottenham. They're not going to let us take the piss like that at White Lane.
Right, the next 3 games in the league are Newcastle, Tottenham away,
and Man United. And
games, if we're
and
still
playing, with the exception of Spurs at home, because it's North London derby, they always raise their game against us to the extent that they're what I call pitch perfect, or football, you know, pitch perfect in terms of the way they're organised and the way they attack as a team and the way they defend, and the midfield, they're pitch perfect, and they're going to be pitch perfect 'cause it's us. So that's going to be a difficult game. Newcastle drop points, but again, they're going to be up for it. They're coming to win. Man United are playing look a better side now, more organised. It's not because you're going to say because Cristiano Ronaldo's not there and Aaron Guy's not there. I think what's happening is that they finally got what Ten Hag wants, and Rashford's playing good football at the moment. So that's going to be our gains, and they're all learning curves. But that's why even if City, you know, lose against Chelsea and they're 10 points ahead, if we beat Newcastle, which is a big if, I'm not counting my chickens for the hatch, because there's so much can happen. And you know what's happened. If we don't get reinforcements in, and, you know, players will get fatigued, because the way we play, players are going to get fatigued. That's probably where the equalisers are coming, where we all drop points. And then you know what City are like. You know, if they get the players, because they got bigger squads and better bench than us, they're going to be fresh. And to have that run, Liverpool look fresh now. with the fact they got Gapco, even though there's a massive gap. There's so much to play for,
Well, the gap between where we are and Tottenham, who are currently sitting 5th, who we play obviously next month in a couple of weeks, and Newcastle as well. We're 9 points clear of Newcastle with
and they got a game. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
So
but
if we put Newcastle to the sword, and let's be real, their record at our ground is shocking.
Absolutely shocking. I haven't won since Andy Carroll scored in 2010 when Chris Hughton was the manager.
Exactly. So that's what 12, 13 years. If we beat them, that's them out the equation, done and dusted.
Yeah, but realistically,
go on.
Realistically, with Newcastle, it is all about the top 4 and getting to Europe and about winning the cup.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, they're just riding the
wave. That they're all about getting in the top 4 and then see if they can, actually.
If we can beat Newcastle, right, that's them 12 points behind. See you later.
Yeah, definitely.
Right? If we beat Tottenham for the first time since Rosicky scored the banger in the first minute, right, we are currently 13 clear of Tottenham. If we can actually go and beat them, right, I know we've got a game between that, and so have they. Yeah, that puts a massive gap between us and 5th. Yeah.
Yes.
Which means Champions League football looks almost secure, right?
Yes.
Not only that, Manchester City played Chelsea in midweek.
Oh yeah, Potter's going to be organised. Potter's definitely going to be organised, and I think they'll have a chance to win that game. But it's whether they're going to take it. Chelsea are going to raise the game because it's Man City, but it's an hard game. But let's not forget we got a hard game as well. Newcastle have played they haven't lost since August. And they got
the best defence in the league.
Yeah, I think the last time they lost, was against Liverpool.
They should have won the game.
Yeah, that was when
they won that game.
Yeah, and they got issues with rotation as well, just as much as we will be. So again, it's about which team can last the most. We score early, we win comfortably. We don't score early, then we're going to have to keep on going to that well, which we're good enough to do. But with us. Look, with the January transfer window, I just worry and I have concerns about us having to keep on going that well.
Yeah, and this is where we know Edu, Vinay, and all of the hierarchy, the Cronkies, Josh, Stan, Arteta. We know the players watch us because other guys stepped up and become 7.
They watch us. The club know who we are, mate. Trust me, mate.
We know that
my warning letter for about slagging off the club is in the post already. So is yours as well.
Mate, we know that they watch. We know they watch
everything.
And
trust me.
the club.
There's no way we're going to. There's no way we're going to get involved in that sort of all or nothing.
No, come on, Penny. I don't even care about that. I just want my club to win the title, and so do you.
I care about.
When people want to sit there and say you're flip flopping or you're this club is now actually doing what it should do. We've activated Saliba's extra year. We've activated Charlie Patino's extra year because we had until midnight tonight to activate it. We're acting like a big club now. That is all we have asked for.
Exactly.
We've marched, we've protested, and all of this bullshit for what we are doing now. If we don't win the league, and we get to May and we're still there or thereabouts, or we're top, and
I'll take it. I'll take it.
And we'll both sit there and hold our hands up, the same as we did with Aaron Ramsdale, and say, "Yo, we didn't want the guy, but he's actually been brilliant." Yeah, Ben White, brilliant for the last 12, 15 games. Martin Odegaard is actually showing signs of a top player. If Mikel Arteta gets us in a title race until the end of this season, we'll sit there and say,
I'll shake his hand. I'll send a bottle of champagne over to his house and buy it. I'll send him a case. I'll say better luck next time. I know where he lives.
Do you know what the funny thing is? Very quickly before we wrap this up, do you know what the funny thing is? Is we never dropped our standards. So all the people that want to chat shit to us, we never dropped our standards. We always held this club accountable. The club is the star, your phrase. Win the title, compete for the title.
Exactly.
Yeah. When we were finishing 8th, 5th, and people are making win the title, compete for the title. And on that bombshell, ladies and gentlemen, Happy New Year to you all.
Happy New Year, eh?
I know that your wife is sat waiting patiently. Yeah.
Definitely.
You have a wonderful New Year's Eve with the family. I love you to bits, mate.
Love you too, mate.
Big up the fallen soldiers that are up there shining. Always.
Mate, come on, mate. It's time like this, time like this, Claude and Chig. I mean, I know what Claude and Chig are going to be making of us in the title race. I think they'll be enjoying this. I And I don't think that they're going to worry about anything going wrong, because I don't see there. We've actually got no weaknesses in our team, which is a shock.
The only weakness is if we actually do lose Thomas Partey or Saliba or Gabriel Magalhaes at the moment, because the backups to that is crap. But listen, that's a whole new podcast.
To be honest, I know you won't agree on this.
Go on.
Saka as well. If we lose him.
Oh, he's been brilliant. Mate, that finish tonight was cold. But listen, Kenny, have a wonderful New Year's Eve, man. I love you to bits.
And
you've been a superstar. Kenny Ken's Insta's in the description, people. And we're out of here. We're top of the league. Sing it with me, Kenny. We've got super.
No chance, mate. You've got a better chance of getting me to sing the Only One Arsenal song, and I refuse to sing that. No, I'll sing.
Have a wonderful evening, man.
Look after yourself, Lee. See you later.
And you, mate.